Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 21 of 21 of our 21-day yoga challenge together. My name is Antoinette, and it has been such an incredible ride to be able to practice with you all for 21 days. I was just saying to students on Zoom that to be able to commit to something for 21 days, it starts to help you develop a positive habit. And so if you're able to come to your mat for 1 hour and do a practice with me, and we will be starting practices again tomorrow on Mondays and Thursdays from 5 to 6. So you're always welcome to come on to practice. But maybe you only have 10 minutes to move or get onto your mat and do some stretching. Whatever you do and however you arrive, just taking that moment of self-care, right? Ultimately, that's what this has been about. And so I want to say thank you again to Sibley Hospital for recognizing self-care in our community and self-care in our employees. Because that's how this challenge started, was recognizing that it's important, especially during this time of COVID when things are so up in the air, so out of control for us. We have this moment to be together to practice. We're going to start off today in Sukasana. We're going to have kind of a gentle flow, but do a little bit of core work as well. Find our breath. Today's props is just going to be 2 blocks, a strap, and maybe a blanket to both pad your knees and to be able to cover up the body if you start to get cold in your Shavasana. So let's get started off on our mats today. As we sit down in Sukasana, I'm just going to bring the camera down for our other students. I just recognized what was going on there. Okay. Gotta love, the virtual studio. We always have some different technical issues. So let's start off down here. So either you can sit on a block, you can sit on a mat, just coming to a comfortable seat together. Some of you started off in hero's pose where you're seated on your knees. We take a moment to center ourselves as we either close our eyes if that feels safe to us, or perhaps carry our gaze down just a few feet in front of us. We give ourselves a moment to start to let that external dialogue or any noise going on around us to start to dissipate. You're conscious maybe of the sounds of your own home, or maybe outside what's happening, birds, activity. But as you start to breathe, allowing the breath to come in and be conscious of that, we start to go inward. In this 21-day practice, maybe finding some gratitude in the ability to move our bodies and breathe independently and be together as a community. Major gratitude for that. Keeping the eyes closed, I wanted to give a shout out to my good friend Stevie Combs. I found a reading of his that he wrote almost 2 years ago. And I wanted to start off with that because it starts off with a Grateful Dead lyric. And my good friends, the Jerry Tripsters, played last night online, and we got to watch them and dance and be with our friends virtually. Once in a while, we get shown the light in the strangest of places if we look at it just right. Just taking a good deep breath in and out. When we awaken in the morning, the day is an unbuilt creation. We have some ideas about what we'll accomplish today, but the universe also has some things in mind. They're not yet part of our consciousness. We've lived long enough to know that every day brings surprises. We know in advance that we'll be frustrated in some of our desires, and we may be helped or advanced in others. about the totally unexpected? Will we even notice the subtle opportunities? Will we see an opportunity for a friendly conversation? Do our plans unwittingly prevent other possibilities from intruding? When we hold loosely to our daily plans, we're more open to knowing the will of the universe. And then each day is a spiritual process. However it may arrive, it becomes this combined creation of a higher level and our own consciousness. So I offer this to you today as you continue your breath in and out. Today, I will hold my plan loosely for this day so that I can continue to open to the healing powers of the universe. Let's inhale now. As we open our eyes, taking a good deep inhale in, we expand the chest. The navel comes back toward the spine. And then we exhale out. Let's inhale now as we rise the arms up together, reaching up and extending, allowing the shoulder heads to fall up toward the ears just for just a moment, and then with strength, settling the shoulders back down as we continue to lift and reach the arms up. Good deep inhale here. And as we exhale, let's twist over to the right side. We'll take our right hand behind us as we place it just below the sacrum. I invite you, if you're able to sit on the floor and just gently press the palm of the hand in just below the sacrum, we take a look toward the right side. As you do, you start to lift the torso up, and we start to twist from the abdomen, not from the shoulders. The gaze is just over toward the right in a gentle sort of way. Maybe you start to just acknowledge what you see. Taking a good deep inhale in and an exhale out, you allow the belly to expand and contract back, accessing the abdominal core. And then let's reach up, reaching up as we inhale. And then we'll head over to the other side, taking our right hand to our left knee. And that left hand now presses on the mat. We root down just below the sacrum as we take a look toward the left side. As we twist, we just notice what's happening in our bodies. And take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out, letting the belly expand and contract like a balloon, inflating and deflating. And then we'll come back again as we reach up and extend. Noticing that when we raise the arms up, we have to use the core to get there. Right? So that's important as we lengthen the spine, and then we start to reach out and extend. Take a moment to drop the elbows down like you're making the shape of a W, letting the shoulders drop so that those upper trapezius muscles stop engaging, and then reach out with your arms and see what happens. Maybe you start to feel the forearms as you reach and extend. We start to lose that mobility and that reach. So just finding that, accessing that now, and then coming down again. Inhaling as we lift up, good deep extension, reaching up. And exhaling down just the right arm. We start to pad that hand down and rise up, reaching up with the left arm, and then let's head over to the right side. Now here we can start to take some movement if you want. So you could stay exactly the way you are, focusing on your breath, or we could kind of start to hinge down a little farther and then round the arm as if you're going to paint the face of a clock. Again, as you come out, just opening up the front of the chest if it feels tight, and then coming back around. Creating some movement, some fluid movement, like you're moving your arm through water. And then rise that left arm up to 12 o'clock, bring that right arm back up, and then let's go to the other side with the breath as we take that left arm down. Rooting down with that left arm, let's rise up on the inhale with the right arm. And then let's head over to the left side now. So again, you could stay here if you want to. Maybe some of us have some back issues. But use that time to take the core into account as you lift. And then if you're ready, you can move in counterclockwise or clockwise fashion as you start to draw the arm back. And again, as it moves back behind you, opening up the front of the chest. We get very tight in the pectoral muscles, right? So allowing that movement to occur as you reach and extend. And then continue that windmill of the arm as you rotate it once more. Or maybe go in the opposite direction to kind of sense what's happening. And then let's come out as we reach and extend. Again, dropping the elbows slightly down, right? And then reaching out, inhaling. And as we exhale, we'll start to round the arms together as we take the back toward the back of the room. Inhale as we reach out, one breath. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last time is we inhale. And then exhale down the arms. Just roll the shoulders back for a moment, giving yourself a little bit of a break. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees and start to do some work in tabletop. Roll the shoulders forward. And then slowly we're going to roll over onto our hands and knees. So if you have any sort of knee issues, remember you can take the blanket or whatever you might have or double up your mat and then gently just bring that mat, the blanket down, and you can bring your knees as you pad them. It's just an opportunity to take care of yourself. And then as always, I just offer you the options if you have any sort of wrist issues. Today I'd like you to have blocks. If you have them available to you, have them at the top of your mat so that we can do a little bit of work with our blocks. But for those with wrist issues, remember your forearms can come down to the top part of the block as it's at its tallest point. You can also be military style as you make fist with the arm, with the hands, and bring them down to the mat. We will have opportunities where we're going to come off of our hands so that way we take a break. So however you arrive in this posture, the neck is long. We start to take the navel back toward the spine. We take a good deep inhale in as we lengthen. The pelvis starts to tip away from us, right? As we gently take that inhale in and exhale out. We'll start off with a few cat-cows. If you don't have any cervical spine issues, you can gently on the inhale start to sway the back and take a look up with eyes and with chin. As you do, feel the energy that travels from the chin going all the way down to the belly button, and then start to round the back on the exhale. We'll tent our fingertips and start to let the energy travel up the shoulder heads as we round the back. Patting the hands, we'll sway the back and take a look up. And then exhale, keeping the hands patted as we round the back. Finding our breath as we move our bodies, taking a look up. Kind words come out of our mouth today. Exhale as we round. Find your way back into your neutral spine, and then gently on that next breath, start to C-shape the body as you look over toward that right shoulder. Continue the glance over toward that right foot, and maybe start to feel that left hip. If you wanted a little bit more, you can start to hinge into that left hip with some movement. Feeling the left side of the body. Inhaling as you come back to your neutral. And then as you exhale, looking over to the left shoulder, we start to C-shape the body, kind of like you're taking a little bite out of one side. Taking a look over toward that left foot. And then if you want, and the hips allow, we can gently start to hinge into that right leg, right hip. Come back again, good deep inhale here. And then let's come off the hands as we inhale, taking our arms up, reaching up high. So you could either tuck the toes under or keep the shoelaces part of the foot on the mat. Your choice. Good deep inhale here. Let's clasp the hands together now. Actually, hook the thumbs like you're going to make wings with your hands. And we'll start to send them up toward the ceiling as you reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Gently start to hinge over toward the right side. Just stretching the outer body of the left side of the body. Hook the fingers, the thumbs in a different way, the other way that you were doing them. And then gently make your way over to the left side. And then come back up again. Good deep inhale. As you exhale, arms come out. Again, elbows down into the shape of a W for a moment. And then reach out long as you extend. Chest puffs out. And then exhale, arms down. Take some movement now as you windmill the arms backwards if it feels okay on the shoulders. I have a lot of gratitude that I can do this now. Go in the opposite direction after shoulder surgery. Moving in a fluid fashion. And then circle the arms over and down and then come all the way down back into your hands and knees. And let's bring our right foot out. So we splay the toes of the right foot out. We look back at that right calf and gently press down, finding a little bit of movement. And then that invitation to flex that right buttock so that you feel the strength and stability of that back leg, accessing the knee and the quadricep of that right leg. And then roll up onto the great toe and the shoelaces part of the foot, keeping that right leg straight as you bend the toes, if it feels okay to do so. All of these are offers, right? So you don't have to do it, but you could play around with it if it felt good to you. Gently take your right heel over toward the right side of the mat. Hinge in just a little bit if it felt okay on the wrist. Using that strength of that right arm. And then gently now rock the heel over toward the left side of the mat. Pad that right foot. Left hand's down on the mat now, and we'll rise up with our right arm to 12 o'clock as we reach up and extend. And then on the next breath, taking our right arm up and over the body. And again, staying here or creating some movement, drawing a circle with the arm, rising up, and then go in the opposite direction. We have to use the core as well as the shoulder, right? And we find our breath, come back to 12, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling as we rise that right foot up, kicking it out. So kicking out with that right heel, the heel comes up to hip height or thereabouts, and then we'll make a circle with that right leg. So there's a little theme here, right? Just kind of finding some movement on this Sunday morning. Accessing different muscle groups as you go slowly, go in the opposite direction. Finding your way. And now bring that right foot down, right arm comes up and over the body, and then we'll windmill the arms over and down and come back to tabletop. Let's go to the other side as we take that left foot out. Splay the toes out, push back on that left calf. Come up onto the ball of the feet, keeping the legs straight, engaging the kneecap and the quadricep, and then gently bending the toes, if it feels okay to do so. Rolling back and forth as you find your breath and feel the movement. Gently drop that left heel over toward the left corner of the mat and feel the outer hip if that feels okay. Finding strength on that left arm as you push in. And then come back and drop that heel over toward the right corner of the mat. Pad that right hand. And then let's reach up the left arm to 12 o'clock. Solo that left foot on the mat now. So we reach up and extend. Good deep inhale. And as we exhale, left arm comes up and over the body. Again, stay here or gently round the arm, like you're going to paint the face of a giant clock. Opening up, and then up and over the body, and then let's circle the arms over and down again. Actually, let's come back up again, back up to 12 o'clock, and we'll raise that left heel up. I don't want us to miss out on that part. So kicking out with that left heel, right? Hip height. We start to flex the buttock and the hamstring muscle. And then we're going to paint the face of the clock here. So rounding. And as we do, we start to feel the outer hip flexor, that hamstring, and maybe go in the opposite direction. Rise up. And now drop that left arm down and left foot down and circle the arms over and down. And let's pause here and come off of the hands once more as we rise up, almost like you're scraping up toward the ceiling, reaching up. And now taking the hands out wide like you're going to take your hands through water, rising up with arms forward, ahead, and up. And then exhale, arms coming down. And now palms come up as we reach up and extend, good deep inhale. Exhaling down just the right arm, rising up with the left as we grow taller on the left side of the body, and then let's head over to the right side. With each of these movements, we access the core, so we reach and lengthen, but we're also engaging our abdominal muscles as we rise up with these slow movements, inhaling and then exhaling down our left arm. We rise up on the right side, growing taller on the right side of the body, and then we head over to the left side. Coming back as we reach up and inhale, and then as we exhale, let's head back to our tabletop position. Start to just draw that right knee a couple of inches off the mat. We flex that right foot. As we draw that right knee up, we notice we need to engage the core here. We're going to start making some small circles with that right knee. You could just paint the face of a clock just down below on the mat below you. Or if the hips allow, you could go up a lot higher. Noticing the core as it's accessed as you start to reach and extend with that knee. We're externally rotating as we go out, right? In a clockwise fashion. And then play around with now going counterclockwise with that right knee, as big or small as you'd like, finding your breath. And then pause here with that right knee up, drop it down for just a moment, let's go over to the other side. So just hovering that left knee up off the mat, a couple of inches. And now go counterclockwise first so that you're externally rotating that left knee. Again, the neck is long, you're just listening to the words. So you can paint a small circle on the floor with the knee, or you can go very big and start to access that left hip as you rise that left hip up in the circle. And then let's go in the opposite direction, counterclockwise, or clockwise rather. Just circling the knee. Again, finding that nuance of engaging the core with the breath. And then let's pause here and take that left knee down. Start to draw that right foot back again. Inhaling. Exhaling as you push back gently on that right calf. And now on the inhale, let's lift up that right leg. Good deep inhale. On the exhale, draw that right knee in toward the body as you hug it in toward the chest. And then gently drop the right knee right in front of the left knee. It's going to feel a little bit weird. You could tent the fingertips. So you're kind of in a little bit of a twist here. And now we'll just gently, so you can stay here, or you could take a little cat-cow. So it's just finding some movement here as you gently tilt the pelvis and then start to round the back. It might feel a little funny at first, but let's go twice. And once you've done that, draw that right knee back up using the core, and then let's take that right foot out, away from the body, and now cross it over to the left side. So now you start to look at the right toes as you make this twist. And maybe you start to sink into that right hip once more, or stay exactly the way you are and start to C-shape the body as you look over toward that right foot. Come back as we reach up and extend, and now take that left arm out. As you reach out with that right heel and reach out with that left arm, the neck is long as you inhale and exhale. We find length as we root down with that right hand and reach and extend with the limbs that are elevated. Inhaling, continue to reach and extend, and as we exhale, let's just drop them down toward the corners of the mat, left and right, and now reach and extend on the inhale. Exhaling, dropping. Inhaling to lengthen and reach. Exhaling. inhaling to lengthen and reach. Last time, and inhaling. Reach and extend. And now let's bring the left hand down, right knee down, and let's go over to the other side. Starting off by taking that left foot out, pushing back gently on that left calf. Good deep inhale and an exhale. Drawing that left heel up on the inhale. Reach and extend, pinky toes slightly down. And then let's just gently draw that left knee in, hugging it in toward the chest. And then take that left kneecap and place it right in front of the right. Again, we're coming into kind of a gentle twist. We can start to sway the back if it feels okay. Take a look up, eyes and chin. It might feel a little foreign, but let's just try it. I learned this yesterday in one of my 500-hour classes. And we'll start to round the back. Inhaling as we sway. And exhaling as we round. Coming back on the inhale, we'll start to draw that left knee back up, and then as we exhale, let's kick out. Kicking out that left heel to hip height, we'll inhale as we reach and extend, and now as we exhale, let's cross that left foot over to the right side, plant that left foot down, and gently take a look over at that left foot. You can start to C-shape the body, going as far as it feels good to you. And then come back, inhaling as you reach and extend. Find your right hand to the right corner of the mat. And now as we inhale, let's lift, continue to lift that left heel and right arm. Exhale as you touch down. Inhaling as you lift, so using the core, rooting down with that left hand as you rise the limbs up. Exhale, come down. Inhaling as we come up. And exhale to come down. Inhaling and exhaling. Last time. Touch down. Bring the knees and arms back, and then let's come into child's pose. So remember, child's pose is different things to different people. If your knees are okay today to do so, sink the buttocks back toward the heels. Start to walk the hands out in front of you and bring the forehead down to the mat. If the knees don't allow you to bring yourself out wide and sink them low, you can just start to keep them at hip width distance apart and gently start to walk the hands out in front of you, keeping the buttocks high. Find that pose that feels good and resonates with your body today, however you arrive in it. We're gently going to walk the hands over toward the right side of the mat first and reach long through the pinky finger. I've been doing a lot of different stretches like this because a lot of people are at their computer a lot of the day, sitting. And so reaching and extending kind of helps us find that mobility that we start to lose in our range of motion because we're sitting in one position with our shoulders kind of rounded and hunched. Coming back as we take a breath in, back toward the midline as we sink the chest low. Maybe you tinge your fingertips on this one and sink the buttocks back a little lower. Again, the head is down. And then we start to walk our hands over toward the right side now. Taking a good breath in as we stretch, maybe sinking into that right hip, or feeling that beautiful separation slightly of the intercostal muscles. Our rib cage lightly placed on top of our thighs so that we can feel that expansion of breath. And we'll come back to the midline and then back to tabletop, bringing our knees together. Let's take our right foot now and bring it forward, L-shaping that. If you have blocks, great. If you don't have blocks, just find a tent in the fingertips. Your choice. We're gently going to draw that left knee up now, so coming into a lunge right away so that we can start to really move and then get up into a vertical position soon. A gentle rock back and forth on that right knee supported. Stay here with your hands on the blocks, or if it feels good to you, start to bring your hands up towards your hips, coming in to a lunge. Not supported now. If it still feels good, rise the arms up on the inhale. Good deep inhale. We start to flex the left buttock so that you feel the strength and stability of that back leg. Slightly lean forward. Inhaling. If it feels okay on the lower back, take a look up with gratitude. Good deep inhale here. And an exhale. Again, take the thumbs and hook them together and rise up a little bit higher. Start to sink that back knee, left leg down, and then come back. Back up. Bring it down, and then come back up. Last time, and then come back up. Unhook the fingers. Hands come down to the hips or to the block, and then gently bring that left knee down. We'll bring the right knee to meet the left and the left foot forward. Tuck the toes of that right foot under, come up into a low lunge. Hands supported by the blocks or tented on the floor. A gentle rock up and back. Flexing that right buttock. Take the hands to the hips, or if it feels good to you, arms come up. Again, lower back issues, you can just start to lean forward with the arms. Again, finding strength of your body. If it feels good to rise the arms up to 12 o'clock, go there. Hook the thumb in the opposite way of the way you just did it. Rise the arms up on the inhale, and then start to sink that back leg down, and then come back up. When you come up, flexing the right buttock, come down, and then come back up. Flex. Bring it down, and then come back up. Last time, and then come back up. Reach up and extend with the arms. Hands come down toward the hips or toward the block, and gently bring that right knee down, left knee to meet it. Let's make our way into downward facing dog, or if that's not good for you today, to go upside down, then stay in tabletop for another moment and take a movement that resonates with you. For those going into downward facing dog, start to sink the heart low. The hips come up high, and we sink the heels down and find length in the hamstrings. Again, if we have jobs where we're seated for a lot of the day, the hamstrings become very tight. And so for that, you may want to pedal one foot down, letting the heels sink, and then the other. You could take a moment to shake your head yes, just freeing up the neck, or no. Just allowing the muscles to relax. Notice if you're dumping a lot of the weight in the heel of the hand, just start to gently rock the weight toward the forefinger and thumb so you make that even distribution of weight. Stay here, bring your knees down, whatever you'd like. If you want to stay here in downward facing dog, let's take an inhale and take that left foot and bring it up. As we rise that left foot up, bring the left pinky toe down so that you're not hiking up that left leg without proper alignment. As we reach up and extend, maybe kick up a little higher with that left heel. Stay here or take that left knee in as you crunch it into a plank. Draw that left knee back up toward the ceiling. Kick it up. And then let's come in halfway. Last time, reach up. And then bring that left foot down. Rise up on the inhale, right leg comes up. Right pinky toe comes down. Stay here or bring the right leg down. Or as you inhale, kick up a little higher with that right heel. And then let's come in halfway as we crunch that right knee in. Engage the core. Reach up and extend. Find your breath, bring it in halfway. Reach up and extend. Good deep inhale with that reach. And as we exhale, right foot comes down, and we're gently going to start to walk our feet toward our hands, and then all come up into full Tadasana. We'll inhale to a halfway lift if you were in your downward facing dog, and exhale as you forward fold. Coming all the way up to standing together as we meet together, reaching up and extending, both arms come up. Exhale, hands to prayer, And let's pause here, finding stillness and ease in this posture. Being in a vertical way, just taking a moment to set ourselves up. We focus on something non-moving in front of us. We feel the beating of our heart behind our hands in prayer. We find gratitude for this day and our bodies. Gently start to rock the weight, if the balance is good, toward the ball of the feet as you gently lift the heels off the floor. Go as high as you'd like. Flexing the buttocks as you go up. And then on the next breath, sinking the heels back down, gently bringing the weight toward the heels and bringing the toes off the mat as you flare the toes. Settle the toes back down on the mat. Conscious now of us rooting down with our feet, standing tall, growing taller in the torso as we not lock our legs, but we start to grow taller through the abdomen. Inhaling in, let's start to roll the shoulders back as we broaden the collarbone. Exhale, Tadasana. Again, taking the chest out forward, opening the heart to the possibilities of this day. We'll reach up and extend with both arms coming up. Good deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to draw that right knee up. Right knee comes to hip height. We flex that right foot. We grow taller on the inhale on the left side as we flex the buttock. And then let's step back into Warrior One with that back foot at 45 degrees and rise up with the arms coming up. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Again, hooking the thumbs as we send the fingertips up like wings toward the ceiling. With another breath in and out, let's head over to the left side so we feel a nice stretch along the right side of the body. And then we'll come back again as we reach up and extend. Engaging the core, let's head over with fingertips over toward the right side. Protecting the lower back. Come back, good deep inhale. And an exhale, hands to prayer. Our right foot comes to meet the left. Inhaling. And exhaling, Tadasana, arms down beside us. We'll inhale as we lift and raise, good deep inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. Left knee comes up. We find balance on that standing right leg. Inhale as we grow taller on the right side, flexing the right buttock, and then let's step back, Warrior One with left foot back. Reach up and extend. On the next breath, again, hooking the thumbs in the opposite way of the way that you just did it. Kind of helps our brain work in a different way as we reach up and extend through the fingertips. And then on the next breath, let's head over with our fingertips over toward the right side. Again, finding that extension, reach, so you feel that left front psoas muscle. Release if it feels very tight. Come back on the breath, engaging the core. Let's head over to the left side. So we really need to use the core muscles to make our way here so that we protect the lower back, but also we're accessing the muscles, right? Waking them back up again, reaching up and extending, good deep inhale. As we exhale, hands to prayer. A lot of our lower back issues rest on some of the things that happen in the core that we start to not pay attention to as we get a little older. So keeping our core strong helps our balance, protects our lower back, our knees, hips. Everything's kind of centered right in our midline. Good deep inhale here. That's just one part, right? Our bodies are so complex. Exhale as we head down, our hands down beside us to our hips. We'll rise the arms up as we reach up and extend. And then hands to prayer, drawing that right knee back up again. Inhaling in, let's exhale as we kick out that right foot. So interestingly, as we kick out that right foot, notice what we'll be doing when we're on our backs. We'll be doing the same posture, and yet doing it on our backs in a supine position. Coming back as we bend that right knee. And now we're just going to kick back with that right foot without touching down. We flex that right buttock. Handstand prayer so that you can focus more on balance. If you needed to touch something like a wall or a chair, that's important. Because now you can focus on the inhale of lifting that knee up, engaging the core, and then exhaling as you push that right leg out. Inhaling as you come back, right knee is bent, and then exhale as we kick back, touching back. We engage the core on that kick back. Again, right knee comes back up, and then on the exhale, pushing forward. Challenging yourself to bring that foot to hip height. Right knee comes back as we bend, and then right leg comes down to meet the left. Let's inhale with both arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer, left knee comes up. Good deep inhale here, growing taller on that right side, engaging the core, kicking out on the breath. Coming back, inhaling. Exhaling as you kick back. Without touching down, flex that left buttock. Inhale, drawing the left knee up. Exhale, kicking out. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, touching back. Last time. Inhale, drawing that left knee up. Exhale, kicking out. Challenging yourself to bring that foot to hip height. Come back. Deep inhale here. And an exhale, Tadasana. Don't you love live screens? Inhale as we reach up. Good deep inhale here. Let's exhale as we forward fold. We're going to make our way down to our mat. We inhale up to a half lift. And we exhale to a forward fold. Let's inhale, coming all the way back up again, reaching up and extend. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale up to a half lift, hands to the shins, pressing, lengthening the back. And then exhale as we forward fold and taking our buttocks down to the floor. Let's take a moment now, find one of your blocks so that you have them close by. And we can do a little bit of work on our inner thigh and come into bridge. But first, let's settle down on the back with our backs to the mat. Having just moved the body, just taking a moment to settle and be. The soles of the feet on the mat. Our hands down beside us. We'll gently start to draw that right knee up without holding it toward the chest, and then kick that right foot up toward the ceiling. Draw that right knee back toward the chest, and then bring that right foot down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, drawing that left knee in toward the chest. Exhaling, kicking up toward the ceiling. Inhale, coming back, bending that left knee, and then exhale, coming down. Do you see what we just did? We're doing it now on the floor, very similarly to what we were doing in a standing posture, but continuing to access hip and abdominals as we move. So just looking at these postures in a different way. Let's go one more time. So inhale, drawing that right knee in toward the chest, as if you were going to hug it in with your arm, but you don't. Exhale as you push that right foot up toward the ceiling. Inhale, coming back, drawing that right knee and challenging yourself to draw it up toward your chest without touching it. And then exhale, coming down. Inhale, drawing that left knee in now. Exhale, kicking up toward the ceiling. Inhale, drawing that left knee back. And then exhale, touching down. Just pausing here for a second. Gently flattening the back as you tilt the pelvis up toward the ceiling. And then tilting the pelvis away so that you find that natural S-curve in the back. Again, tilting the pelvis up toward the ceiling, flattening the lower back in the mat, and now just allowing that natural S-curve to occur we'll find our block and place it in between the inner thighs, in between the legs. You can bring the block long so that it goes from the length of the pelvis all the way up toward the knees. And we start pressing in with the inner thighs. And then gently to find some alignment, maybe brush our heels with our fingertips so that we know that we're kind of in that place. And that's only if our knees allow. If our knees don't allow us to do that, then we just bring the feet away, just to the point where it feels good to you. Remember, not doing any harm to our bodies. On the inhale, taking the hips up toward the ceiling. We squeeze the block as we find our way up toward the top. And then exhale as we lower. Inhaling as we push up. Squeeze the block. Exhale as we lower. Inhaling, coming up. Squeezing the block. And exhaling to lower. Inhaling as we come up. Squeezing the block. And exhaling to lower. Let's add the arms now. Inhaling with arms overhead, coming up to our tallest point. We push with the soles of the feet, squeeze the block with the inner thigh. Exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Inhaling as we come up, reaching up and extending. Pushing with the soles of the feet, squeezing the block. Exhale to come down. Inhale, coming up, last time. Squeezing the block. Exhale to lower. Removing the block from the inner thigh and gently taking your left foot to your right knee. We'll press that left knee away from the body and then gently start to draw that right knee up. So you can either counter pose, so you can take that left hand, keep it on the left knee, and gently grab that right thigh with your right hand. Or you can thread the eye of the needle and take both hands through as you grab the back of that right thigh. Your choice. Breathing into any tight space that you might feel on that left hip, drawing that right knee in with each breath in and out, if that feels good, or just having a gentle hold on it, taking a circle with that right ankle. Again, if you're seated a lot in your day, this might be a wonderful stretch. And remember that you can do this from your chair. You can be seated at your chair and gently take this position of the left foot to the right knee and then gently start to hinge forward from your seated position. You could take a moment just in the middle of your day to do that stretch and see what kind of comes up for you, if that makes things feel better. Taking that right foot back down, left foot comes down, and then let's go over to the other side, taking our right foot to our left knee. Gently bringing that right knee away from the body as we push gently with our right hand. And then start to draw that left knee up. So either keep the right hand there and catch the back of that left thigh. Find a little bit of a counter position as you push away and pull forward. Or thread the hands through the eye of the needle as you draw in for this figure four stretch. And then noticing without any judgment, how does this side feel versus the other? Are you a little tighter or a little looser? Is it a little easier or a little harder? And breathe. Remembering our breath. That's something that we have in this moment control over. Taking a circle of that left ankle and gently drawing that left foot down, right foot down. Let's bring the body long as we reach the arms overhead. Good deep inhales. We press the calves in, toes come up toward the ceiling. Pointing and flexing the feet, making fists with the hands, and then sparking the fingertips, reaching out if that felt good. Taking opposite hand and opposite feet. Again, finding movement that resonates with you. and feels good, having just moved. Let's be long on the body. And then as promised, if you have your strap close by, if you don't, I'll guide you either way. We're going to go into that position of what we were just doing when we were in a vertical position. Let's bend the left knee and take the strap to the ball of that right foot. Comes out toward the ceiling as we reach up like you're going to high five the ceiling with your sole of your right foot. We're going to kick that left leg out now and pause as we press the left calf in toward the mat. We'll draw that right foot up. So we're just doing this in our vertical position, right? As we flex that right foot and we kick it up, sending the heel up toward the ceiling. If it feels good to draw the foot up a little higher toward the crown of the head, great. Now remember, if you don't have a strap today, you just catch the back of that right hamstring and just focus on extending the leg. The toes can come back toward the crown of the head. And then we can all go into just pointing and flexing that right foot, if it felt good, or just stay perfectly still, or make a circle with the ankle. And then when we're ready, let's externally rotate that right leg as we take it out toward the right side of the body. We catch the strap in our right hand if we have a strap. If we don't have a strap, we just catch that right inner knee. The left leg remains active and glued to the floor. So that left hip is active. We'll T-shape out that left arm. Again, hovering that left arm over the mat, reaching and extending, and then allowing that left shoulder head to rest. Left forearm, top of the hand, feeling the textures of wherever the arm might be placed. Perhaps a carpet or another mat or a hardwood floor. Just noticing the sensations of what you're touching and be present with where you are. Opening up that right inner thigh. And breathing. Remember in this posture too, if you happen to have a block close by, you could gently place your ankle right on top of the block in a more restorative type of stretch as you open up. You can keep one block on one side and one block on the other so that way you can go back and forth. We'll inhale in as we take the right foot up toward the ceiling. And now we're going to bring that right leg across the body, catching the strap in our left hand. If you happen to have a block close by, you can place your ankle there, inner ankle, and start to T-shape out that right arm. And take that good deep belly breath in and out. Finding that nice stretch. We'll bring that right foot back up again, and then let's go to the other side. I want us to have some time for Shavasana. Sole that right foot on the mat just to start. So either strap in the ball of that left foot or you grab the left hamstring, however you arrive and what you have available to you. Toes can come back as you extend and lengthen that left leg. Pointing and flexing that left foot if that feels good to you. And now kicking out that right leg, let's press the right calf into the mat. Drawing that left leg up so you feel a nice hamstring stretch here. And then gently bringing that left foot out toward the left side of the body, externally rotating that left leg, either hovering that left leg or placing that left leg on a block, your choice. Remember, the blocks have different heights. So this side of the body might be a lot tighter, and so maybe you need to have the block at its tallest point. Or maybe you can place it on the wall, however you arrive in your space available to you today. Opening up, feeling that left inner thigh. Finding your breath. And then when you're ready, let's bring that left foot up and come all the way across the body. Again, placing that left foot on a block or just gently catching it into your right hand. Your choice. We'll T-shape out that left arm. Good deep belly breath in and out. feeling that left hip release if it was very tight. And then drawing that left foot up toward the ceiling, let's remove the strap and hug the knees in toward the chest. A little loving kindness toward yourself. Remembering that kindness toward yourself starts with you and then ripples out and transmits to every single person, animal, and plant that you touch today. Good energy starts with you. We're gently going to make our bodies long. And now's a good time either to cover up the body with a blanket, allowing the legs to be long. You can gently bring your ankles toward the corners of your mat. Let the palms be up so that the shoulders can start to rest on the mat. Make yourself that 5 to 10% more comfortable. Finding your way into your Shavasana today. Good morning to Cecile and to Tony, to Craig. Good morning to you all. As you lie in your Shavasana, starting to access the breath, just like we did at the beginning of our practice. Our reading today comes from Pema Chodron, one of my favorites to read from. So just listening to her words to finish your practice. And just to be for a few moments more before you start your day. She writes about the trick to keep seeing. Good deep breath in and out. You might hear my son talking as I'm talking. He's doing his ACT prep. The Tibetan word shempa is usually translated as attachment. But a more descriptive translation might be hooked. When shempa hooks us, we are likely to get stuck. We could call Shenpa that sticky feeling, like an everyday experience. Even a spot on a new sweater could take you there. At the subtlest level, we feel a tightening, a tensing, a sense of closing down. And then we feel this sense of withdrawing and not wanting to be where we are. That's that hooked quality. That tight feeling has that power to hook us into self-denigration, blame, anger, jealousy, and other emotions which lead to words and action that end up poisoning us. In practicing with Shenpa, first we try to recognize it. What's coming up? The best place to do this is right here on our yoga mats or a meditation cushion. Lying in Shavasana or sitting in a practice can teach us how to open and relax to whatever arises without picking and choosing. It teaches us to experience the uneasiness and to urge fully, to interrupt this momentum that usually follows. We do this by not following after the thoughts and learning to come back to the present moment. We learn to stay with this uneasiness, this tightening. We train in sitting or lying or being in the stillness. And our desire to run away from it, move on. The But this is how we learn to stop this chain of reaction of habitual patterns that otherwise rule our lives. It's how we can weaken the patterns that keep us hooked into discomfort, that we mistake as comfort. We label the spin-off thinking, and we return to the present. We could think of this whole process in terms of recognizing Shimpa, refraining from scratching or holding or tensing or running away, and resolving to continue to interrupt this habitual pattern, taking one moment at a time to do so. Working with Shimpa often softens up, right? We start to recognize when things start to occur. And maybe we're able to take that pause and redirect. Or maybe just recognize it and with love, just be able to accept it. Once we see how we get hooked and how we get swept along by the momentum, that trick is just to keep seeing. We cannot expect to do it overnight. It's not a one-shot deal. It takes loving kindness to recognize. It takes practice to refrain. It takes willingness to relax. It takes determination to keep training in this way. It helps to remember that we may experience 2 billion kinds of itches and 7 quadrillion types of scratching. But there's only one route to Shimpa. Pema Chodron calls it ego clinging. Maybe we call it openness to possibilities, being aware of what comes up. Peace. Peace to you. Slowly start to make some movement to your fingers and to your toes. You can open up the fingertips and then make fists with the hands. And then gently start to wake the body up. If it feels okay to roll over to your right or your left side, go there. Either coming into a fetal position or maybe cradling your head in your arm if that works for you and your body. Love and kindness to you. When you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seat. We come back to Sukasana, how we started our practice today together. Gratitude for coming together as a community. Gratitude for our bodies, movement, for our breath. Gratitude for practicing together for 21 days, or maybe just coming to our mat today to practice. Making your way up to this comfortable seat. Keeping our eyes closed or our gaze soft, if it feels safe. We'll bring our hands to prayer to finish. We take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out, and we feel the hands touch one another in prayer. The beating of the heart behind our hands, the aliveness of our bodies. Remembering that in yoga that there's this belief that there's this divine spark in everyone. It's there, and it's located here in our heart's chakra, our heart center. It affects our ability to love and to be open to the possibilities, whatever may come. So as we gesture namaste, we acknowledge that spark in each other. Nama means to bow. Te means I, you. So let's take a good deep inhale in together. I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this day 21 practice with me. We'll continue our regular flow of practices on Monday and Thursday nights from 5 to 6. I encourage you to message me if you'd like to get on a mailing list, and that helps you get in touch with classes that I'm offering. I'm going to be doing a webinar with Johns Hopkins on yoga for women with cancer in March 2nd, and also writing an article on movement in the workplace through self-care with a peri-anesthesia journal. So lots of good opportunities coming up, but lots of opportunities to continue our practice together. And thank you so much for the honor of working through this 21-day commitment together. Namaste.